Well, then that's what we do. Jared likes to call in with a Game of Thrones question. I clip it out and put it on Casterly Talk or here on Casterly Talk if you're watching. Jared, take it away.
Yep. So tonight we got episode 8 of season 5, Hardhome.
Oh,
Our boy Miguel back directing,
yeah.
D&D writing.
Love
And
it.
upon rewatch of this episode, it's another one of those, like when we first started this rewatch series with the Mountain and the Viper. There's a lot that happens in this episode that you don't overly remember
Yes.
or think about.
Yes.
Like, you've got Arya starting the Thin Man plot, Tyrion in Marine with Dany.
Yep.
I mean, the work continues. Qyburn to Cersei.
Oh, yeah, Anton Lesser. Where I first fell in love with Anton Lesser was probably this episode.
Yes, definitely.
The work continues.
And of course, Hardhome itself, the battle of battles against the Whites, at least the good one against the Whites that we could see. I loved season 8 too, but that was a tough watch.
Yes.
That battle.
Yes. And this is so I'm looking at a list too here just to remind myself too. It's been too long since I've seen this episode. Got a big reveal from Reek, which is Sansa, that he didn't kill Brad and Rickon. That's, I think, big to the show, big to Sansa. I love all the stuff going on with the Jorah getting back to the fighting pit, or getting to the fighting pits, and all the stuff for Dany. Oysters, clams, and cuckles. Is this that's she starts screaming that in this one too, right?
Yep, that's how it is. She plays the faces game. Yep.
Yeah, so Hardhome, it's remembered correctly for that episode, or for the last, what is that, 40 minutes of the episode? It's something like that. I don't.
Yeah, it's a good chunk of the episode,
and it should be remembered for that. I do think that is one of the signature sequences of the series. I absolutely love Hardhome. We can talk about it. We can talk about it as fans. I don't need to even analyze it. But one of my favorite Cersei moments is her drinking the water off the ground. That is this episode, if memory serves, right? She's down there in prison, and she's doing it's the confessing. It's
she's refused
to confess it. Yeah, and then the water, and that is some of, I think, Lena Headey's best work. That is literally Cersei at the rock bottom. And when we talk later on about that character of Cersei Lannister in the show, getting her vengeance at the end of season 6, getting that sip of wine that everyone celebrates, despite her at times to be a rather despicable character. I think it's the moments like these that make that all earn. Cersei Lannister at her lowest, from where we met her to where she is now. It's fascinating fall, fascinating character study, and some of Lena Headey's best work.
It's one of the strengths of the show overall is taking these horrible people, but giving them such complexity that we celebrate that sip of wine, even though she just slaughtered a whole bunch of innocent people on top of taking out the sparrows. It's just, she's not an innocent bystander to this.
Never was. Yeah.
But that's the strength of the writing. But the scene that actually stood out to me upon rewatch that I loved was the small part with Ollie and Sam talking about Ollie not appreciating or not understanding why Jon would want to help the wildlings. And it's just, it's beautiful foreshadowing that we didn't see coming if you didn't read the books even.
Yeah. And where we stand now with the books, obviously we're still waiting to see what happens to Jon in the books. And that's not a slight against George R.R. Take your time or not finish it at all. I don't care at this point. But I love that thing too, because it's also one of my favorite undercurrents in the show, particularly around Jon Snow. It is the idea of when we meet him, he wants this wants to take on the honor of going to the wall, this old style honor that's completely out of date. All the stuff going on with the rundown wall and the rundown Night's Watch. But it's this honor. It's we got to keep the realm safe from what lies beyond, which are these wildlings, which is a slur. And for him to meet Ygritte and just go through this transition, it's not even deep theme work. It's all on the surface of him changing, and it's also stuff that Ned Stark taught him. So it's what I love about even the character of Ned, honorable as he was, one of my favorites. He was a byproduct of his time and of his world. And this idea that they are simply bad because they are on the wrong side of the wall. It's overtly political in terms of the story. Jon goes through this wonderful change. And at this particular one will lead to his death, but also where he ends up at the end of it all. So I love seeing it play out in these kind of episodes. And it's a perfect setup for Hardhome and the horrors of Hardhome. Because wildling or not, or free folk, as Jon learns to call them, and I prefer to call them in the end, you are all going to be squished under this ice storm of evil that's coming for us all. That's why I love this episode and love the work that they do around Jon Snow.
Oh, it's great. It's great. And actually, I feel like this is almost like because we've been seeing this in other media as well, like example with Star Wars with the Boba Fett show, taking a group that you started off with, you had these awful wildlings or the sand people.
Yep.
And, and then you're learning, no, they're Tuscan. Sand people is a bad word.
Yeah.
And they're free folk. They're not wildlings. They're, again, the wall went up and they just happened to be north.
Happened to be the wrong side. And why I love Mance Rayder so much and just uniting all these different tribes for this cause of what Jon learns here in this moment. On Hardhome itself, again, whatever it is, the last 40 minutes, it plays out perfectly. You have you have the Lord of Bones, all that stuff with him, and just Jon being met with resistance, and Tormund even being met with resistance. So all that going on, all that interplay. But in the time I have here, I still to this day, and man, remember, this is one of the big things I love about Hardhome is it is a passing reference in the books. Maybe to be fair, maybe more than a passing reference, characters, things.
But it's not what it is in the show.
It's not what it is in the show. So for all the crap, and some of it I do understand years on of the crap that Benioff and Weiss take, and the difficulty in adapting that work, even with what they had and they had in their hands, let alone any vague notes from George later on. Throw all the crap you want at them for that, but it's stuff like this where the show really did succeed, where it took a little thing and said, well, let's show this on TV. This is fascinating stuff, and they change up the roster a little bit, different players there than they are in the books. But that moment, Jared, when the dogs start barking, and sitting there watching it, and we were recording the Night is Dark podcast at the time, so it's me, Tiffany Smith, Michelle Boyd, Ma Garrett. And we're watching this, book readers too, by the way, all of us. And we had no idea what we were stepping into other than we knew Hardhome was something. But those dogs barking, Jared, I still get the nerd chills thinking about it because it is such a perfect example of holy bleep, something's coming. And the way it was executed, the ongoing horror, the reveal of Jon and the sword and everything about it is it's a signature sequence for a reason. And I love celebrating it. God damn it. I got to go watch it now, Jared.
It's great. And my favorite part is actually the ending. And excuse me, Brady even mentions it in the chat. The ending where the way it's shot is so great. You have Jon looking at the Night's King as he raises his hand and the dead start coming, standing back up. And you think they're so far away. And then they do the wide shot. He's like 20 feet out from the shore. And he's just like, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
We could get you, but no, go ahead.
Yeah. And that is that the yes, that is the Night King played by the same guy who is in Mandalorian. Why am I
believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm forgetting his name. I want to give him all the credit. Richard Brake. He's great in the Bill Burr dinner table or mess hall table scene in Mandalorian, but that's his. They had a few different versions of the Night's King. Love that. No, love that. I'm gonna go watch Hardhome. Great stuff. But again, Jared, the best. I'm glad you focused on other stuff in the episode. Come for Hardhome. Stay for Cersei Lannister licking water off the ground in the prison cell.